President Obama taking a bit of a hit now, but just days ago before the rollout of his signature health care law, New York Times, CBS poll numbers, 49% disapprove of the job he's doing. That's the lowest we have seen since March of 2012. The Reverend Jesse Jackson, civil rights activist and the founder and president of the Rainbow Push Coalition, back with me in studio. How you doing, sir?
You, sir.
It's always good to see you. Why the drag at 43% approval? What's going on there?
Leadership at its best must mold opinion, not just follow opinion polls. You take a principal position like health care. The cost of the absence of it is more costly and more dangerous. And so one argues that if you're up to age 26, you can get your parents' health insurance. What's wrong with that? Pre-existing condition, health coverage, what's wrong with that? The doctor of your choice, what's wrong with that? So it is ironic to see people who have good health care, as the governors in the Congress, attacking so viciously a health care bill.
Well, you're suggesting that those numbers will change once Obamacare goes into effect. But what we're seeing here, I mean, the rollout has not been, it's not been smooth, and I think we can all admit that.
Because the attacks are rather ideological attacks.
If they asked you in that poll, where would you rate with approval versus disapproval? Are you happy with the job the president is doing?
Before the health care, yeah, I'm happy that he is an attempt for all Americans to be covered. And the absence of that is that fewer and fewer get more and more of the best coverage in the world, and more get less. You can't get coverage in pre-existing condition. You cannot help that. You can't get coverage between jobs. You can't help that. Come out of college with a degree without a job, without coverage. You can't help that. So by providing a health safety net is humane. That's the best of the American dream.
But, you know, a lot of that, Republicans were offering those same ideas. They just didn't want to do the whole overhaul to rearrange the entire economy. But back to the issue of the president and what he's doing. Unemployment among African Americans is still in double digits. How do you explain that now, this 5 years down the road?
When he came in office, we had a net loss of 4 million jobs. We've had a plus every quarter since that time, not enough. And if we, in fact, if we had been able to pass the fast transit with trains that connect cities and towns, we'd have had even more employment. He promised to bring us out of Iraq. We're out of there. He promised to revive all the industry. It's number one again. There are pluses in his favor that must be a part of this calculus.
Okay, but those pluses.
So I think a snapshot view with leadership is not. But
those pluses are not reflected in this poll. This is CBS New York Times, 43% approve. Only 43. If you have a conversation with the president, what would you ask him to do?
Stand tall and boldly on comprehensive health care for all Americans. Maintain a real focus on the person's right to vote without being violated, which right now is in process. Revive the war on poverty. Many working poor people who are, some airline pilots, I might add, driving express pilots.
You can do that, but you could also help them come out of poverty if you gave them a job or helped them find a job, or created a climate that allowed them to be employed.
Well, a part of that climate for jobs, if you in fact accept fast rail transit, you connect Montgomery and Birmingham and Atlanta, you put folk back to work.
That's one idea.
That happened in Florida. They killed the health bill. The governor said he didn't want the transit route, lost several $1 billion in jobs because he didn't want President Obama's name on it. So his commitment to create jobs has in fact been tackled. I think that too few got too much. You know, I looked at the other day, Verizon did a $50 billion bond offering, largest perhaps ever, and $265 million in fees. No jobs, no taxes, no black, no Latino, no woman.
We can debate that next time, too. But the whole issue about jobs right now, especially in the African-American community, I know you're keen on it. I hope you make some progress.
We need targeted jobs for those who have the most need for jobs, and so I support targeted jobs.
I'm out of time. The computer's going to cut us off. You're always welcome here.
Thank you, sir.
Travel well, okay?
Yes.
All right. Martha,